poop jokes. I like poop jokes. No, you can't. I took out BJ. Oh. You're just getting too deep, man. Pull out, you've gone too deep. My 12-pound axe. That's what I've named my penis. Oh, yeah.
Hello. Happy Monday, friends. What's happening? Uh-oh. Was the intro silent? Am I silent? What's happening? Oh no. Okay, so it was okay, that was you. Don't do that to me, Malibu. Fuck. So many fucking issues. It's Monday. Hi. What's happening, friends? As you can maybe hear, I'm still a little congested. It's quite frustrating. We're going into day 12 now or something like that. So, boo. How was your weekend? How was the weekend, friends? What did I do this weekend? I did painting. I've got 3 paintings in there, 2 of which were well underway. The third one was kind of underway. So 2 of which are like coming into the home stretch on them, and then there's a lot of like glazing and kind of the little detail-y shit going on. And then the third one was kind of underway, and I was working on it, and I realized that I needed to get more painterly with it, so did a bunch of like palette knife work. And as soon as you do palette knife work, you can't do anything more. Like, you're not going to get in there and do like real detailed work, because, and I found this out the hard way, you end up getting paint on everything after that. So so I did some work on that one too. I probably got, you know, like I want to say like 3.5 hours worth of painting in. And that's pretty good with oil paint. You don't want to go too long because, you know, fumes and shit like that. But yeah, got another one on the board over here, ready to go. And I did this like wash thing on it. So there's this technique where you do washes and then you do rub outs. And so here, I'll show you what that would look like. Here, let me do this first. Let's do a new file. Oh boy. How about hide and go fuck yourself? Not you. Oh man, I'm just making a mess at the moment. Don't mind me. It's definitely a Monday. It's a Monday. Yeah, wash, rub out. Very rubby. What am I looking for? I'm looking for a way to switch. I need to unify all my buttons, because every time I switch platforms, my buttons are different. So, yeah. Let's not do that, huh? So, what I mean is, it would be, like, let's say I've got like, yeah, let's do this in a color that I like. Let's say that I've got, like, transparency. You've got these like dark lines that are defining pretty much just like exteriors of forms, right? And then like this shadow shape that's gonna be on said forms, right? So I've got these like lines, right? And the lines are doing all of the heavy lifting. They're by heavy lifting I mean like they're defining edges and that sort of thing. And then I came in and I did a wash over the entire thing. It's a little more textural than what you're gonna see, but I put this wash over it, right? And this wash kind of has varying opacities and stuff like that. And then I grabbed a paper towel and I was like, hey, paper towel, come here, you're my best friend. And then I just proceeded to like very quickly make some marks where the lights are gonna be, like so, on the painting. And if you're wondering why I'm not showing you, it's because it's a figurative nude. And that's what I ended up with, was something like this. And it's kind of cool looking, I'm not gonna lie. Like, a lot of the work is done. Because I've got, like, there's modulation in the color because I use different colors as I was doing the wash, right? So there's a little bit more, there's like a little bit more reds and stuff like that in certain areas. And there's even some purples in certain areas. So the wash has a bunch of color and stuff in it. And then I wiped out the highlights. And because it's on a white board, some of those, the initial wash is still there, so it just basically creates an instant read for dark and light and color variance. So now I've got this cool thing that I painted loosely because I did all the line work and everything, and then I basically just washed over it. And it's like a watercolor, and it's all the information is there. And I'm like, well, how do I do this without fucking it up? Because that's a real thing. It's a real thing. When you get into it and you start working in different techniques, because like a rub out technique, it's old school. It's like that's one of the first things that they have you do when you go to art school and you're working on oil, like in oils for the first time. Like, they make you work monochrome, so you're working in just like burnt sienna, and the three colors that you have are burnt sienna, black, and white, right? And so you're basically using burnt sienna as your primary color, and you're making it lighter with white, and you're making it darker with black. And then so you come in and you basically you wash in your stuff, and then they're like, okay, now rub out the highlights in all the areas, and you come in and you do that. I never really did that. So I don't have a technique for taking that to the next level. But I can look at the image and be like, I like the image. Now what? So I'm looking at it. It's a triptych. It's 3 6x6 panels that I taped together. So it's going to be a fun image when it's done, because each panel has kind of a subject. Yeah. So we'll see. Thanks, friends. I appreciate that you believe in me. I believe in me too. And I like it enough that if I fuck it up, I will probably wash it off with some thinner and keep on trying until I can get what I want out of it without going too opaque and too rendered, because that's always been my problem, is that I tend to over render things, and then I just get into sitting after sitting after sitting of like going over these things and massaging areas and doing like, oh well, adding in more painterly marks there and kind of trying to fix things, and then it feels to me it feels over rendered. And some of my favorite paintings are the ones where I was just like flick, and then decided that I liked that mark and I left it, and it made it to the end of the painting, and I just worked around the marks that I liked. And I kind of stamped down that voice in my head that was like, if you didn't work on it, then it's not art, right? Because there's an immediacy that has to happen for what I have in mind, right? So now I have to not allow myself to have that voice be prominent in my brain. I have to be like, no, we are going to leave some elements of this exactly what they are right now. And I want to see every step of the process when I look at the final in one area or another. So there has to be like some blank canvas. There has to be some line in there because it's a very line heavy drawing. In fact, I made sure that I liked the lines as I was working on it so that I could bring them through to the final. And then there has to be some of the wash, and then there has to be some painterly marks that express the lights and the darks and some of the color variants that I'm looking for outside of the wash. No pressure. Anyway, friends, how was your weekend? What did you get up to this weekend? Anyone? Bueller? Tonight we are going to hang out and do some rendering. I need to look at some of these marks to make sure that my marks are looking like they're supposed to look for this particular piece. I remember working specifically like this, so it's gonna be easy to go back. Hey, fuck you, guy. What? Unpacking and cleaning. That sounds like your life, like entirely your life. Like it's been your life for ages. Let's, I'm gonna move this down a little bit so it's not distracting. Boop, look at that. I'm gonna move this down so it's not distracting. Boop. Look at that. It's like I'm a professional or something. And then I just tried to save my layout. Hey, all right. So this flat stuff, man, I could do this shit in my sleep at this point because this is par for the course. So, I don't mind it at all. But it's stuff that I have been doing for long enough that it's old hat for me. It's not boring or anything like that because it's still making art, right? But I've been trying to switch some things up a little bit here and there. So let's see, make sure that we have our selection tool set to current and below, no adjustments. Point sample, okay. Participated in an extended Ostara ritual from invitation of a local coven. Oh, that's wonderful, Viscera. Very nice to hear. Connecting is always nice, right? Let's make sure we're not making our brush strokes too big for the composition too. And turn off transparency there. It looks like we're doing all right. Okay. So we have some sharp edges and some lines. Malibu said I made plans and art date on Friday, which I'm looking forward. Oh, nice. Yeah, good times. Good times. I painted and I played a little video games, and then my friend dropped off some plants and we sat and talked for hours, like a 3-hour chat and catch up. But I have a whole bunch of new plants now. One of which I had to give a little trim today because it got injured on the way down. Got a little burnt. So. Yeah, I got 4 of them. They're fairly common plants, but they're very beautiful. Got what's the hanging one? Brain no worky. I don't know. But I got the hanging plant that I wanted for the little window above my pothos. Is it a pothos? Pothos? I don't know, pothos? Let's find out. Yep. I mean, leave it to Sariana. The hanging one, pothos. The spiky one. No? Okay. Well. Yeah, so I got one of those, and I got the one that got burnt was it's like very long stemmed green leaves that are fairly even, that are kind of longer. Like the leaves look like that. And then the colors are broken up like so, right? But apparently it's very finicky. Like it's one of the, like it gets very sad if it doesn't have water and all the leaves like wilt and shit. So. Alocasia? No, not alocasia. It's much longer, thinner strands and much more rounded leaves. Yeah, not that one. I bet not, Sariana. Bet not. I'll bet you a shave ice and helo that it's not. And you're like, what? So, yeah, this, as you know, this piece of art is going to go slow. Because that's what happens. Yeah, you can post a link, sure. I'm not going to click it, but you can post it. That's how Sariana gets me to open porn on stream. It's not alocasia, I promise. The leaves are the leaves are longer than that. You lose. See if I can find what it looks like. Burp-a-derp-a-der. How did we get started on talking about plants? Sariana, I blame you. Thank you? Why not both? Why not? Why not both, I say. I say unto you. Is it Calathea? It might be a variety of Calathea. Yeah, it looks similar to a Calathea. Only this one was just out of control. Right? So it looks sort of like this, but not like the leaves aren't quite like that, but it's a variety of that. But yeah, very finicky, very finicky. Like a zebra or prayer plant, not necessarily, but those are Calathea. Yeah. Yeah. Yay, plants. Plants are fun. Yeah, sort of like a... Yeah. I'd have to take some photos and show you. But I trimmed the shit out of that thing. I feel bad. I'm gonna have to like transplant it now and you know. Because it took a beating on the way down here. Poor little thing. Not actually little, it's probably the biggest plant I have. But it got burnt, and a lot of the leaves were browned or kind of haggard. So you give it some love. Mal, I see that you're getting another fish. Right on. I was talking about that with my friend actually, about getting pets, and then I was like, but I want to like travel and stuff, so fuck pets. So I think I guess I decided that I'm not going to get pets. Especially until such time as I have a backyard. So I was thinking about like maybe a gecko. And I was like, I'm not going to be able to like hang out with a gecko. Gecko's not going to comfort me when I feel sad. So what's the point? Hey friends, don't forget to drink your water. Not to belittle people that have pets, you know, but my personal thought is like, get a pet that will come and give you some attention, you know. Oh, for sure, for sure. And I think you mean borrow. I will borrow Loki. But I had gecko pets when I was younger, and those fuckers were vicious. But they were tokay geckos, right? So there's no, like, you can't cuddle with a tokay. The bacteria in their mouth will eat away your skin, and so that's not going to happen. But I'm sure that I could get something a little less intense than a tokay gecko, right? I think actually a beta is probably a good pet because, like, the responsibility, right, is just like, okay, you're done. Okay, so I'm taking a look at some of my previous marks, and I feel like I had less, there was some bigger shapes with fewer lines. So I have to be careful to integrate those marks, right? Transition tones on sides, some sharper marks, okay. There's a lot that goes into getting the tank ready, and you have to clean it weekly. Oh, well, all right. Well, there goes a fucking fish idea. Yeah, I'm just gonna be my own pet. Just comfort myself and pet myself. I mean, that already happens. So let's be real. I mean, that's fair. If you were to use unclean water on me, I'd probably get sick too. Moo cheese. I am so mentally skewed that when I hear tank in any context, I think of MMO. Moo. You're not wrong. Welcome in, friend. Let's get that and adjust our tone ever so slightly. No, darker, a bit darker. Just a smidge. Just so that there's a plane change on his nose there. Doesn't have to be drastic, just a little bit. Because we're going to actually change some of that line work in there. As the final step. And again in here, same thing. A little bit of color shift underneath the lips. So we do have to have some plane changes and stuff like that. And when you're working kind of monotone like this, it's easy to miss on some of the plane changes that sell likeness, right? And then the person then is flattened out and looks weird to everybody, and they're like, I don't know what it is, but something feels wrong. Something feels off. You didn't do it right. Do it again. I'm like, well, fuck you. This is my fan art piece. I draw how I want. Lo-fi, welcome in, friend. So, yeah. I've got another one of these planned, but it's not for a movie. You too, buddy. Welcome to the party, quote unquote. The Monday night hangout. The chill. You guys think Harrison Ford's ever gonna make another movie? Is he like 80 years old? I mean, yes, feeling better, feeling 100%, not quite. I blew my nose probably once or twice an hour today, and it was terrifying, for lack of a better term. Am I dying? Man, you want to talk about somebody with like social anxiety? Harrison Ford, man, he cracks me up. Either that or he's just constantly really high. Probably both. Hell yes. Thanks, Lo-Fi. Yeah, I made the mistake of doing like a body weight workout. Wow. This morning, and holy shit, it just kicked my ass. I immediately started coughing and didn't stop for probably like three to 5 minutes. Like, okay, too soon. Oh, really, Moo? Thanks for the heads up. Look at that. When in doubt, Moo's got your back. Hell yes. I wonder if that Indiana Jones 5 is going to be good. I'm intrigued, I will say. Like, I have hopes for it, just given kind of the stumble that was the last one. Make the first 3 letters from the first name and the last 2 letters from the second name? What? Ah, Moose. What's up, buddy? Now it makes sense to me. It makes sense now. This is our good friend Moose. You know what's funny is I've had a good friend named Moose since forever. So you have a special place in my heart, friend. Random question, what part of the face is your favorite to draw? Probably the lips. Yeah, it's I have an affinity for unique lip shapes. So if you've got like good lip shapes, I'll ignore all the fucking rest of whatever is going on and be like, focus in on that. I actually had done a painting of a set of lips doing like a lip bite. Much more sexy than that. I'm like, and I ended up giving it to my boss, like the big boss, at one point, before I was even full-time, just as a like thank you for employing me part-time or freelance as much as you guys do, and so on. And he had it on his wall for a little bit and then it disappeared, and I was like, what happened to this? He was like, I can't put that on my wall. I didn't realize how, like, what the sexual connotations were. And I was like, oh, yeah. It was just a good set of lips. I don't know what you're talking about. I definitely didn't get it off of like some porn star biting her lip thing. Okay, here you go, Seriana. Did you get the screenshot? If you got the screenshot, then you can go ahead and paint it and let me know how it turns out. I don't know. Should we change up playlists? This is bothering me right now. Not in this mode. What's so funny, Seriana? Are you not going to paint it? Is that what's happening? Is that how you refuse my? So you refuse my gift of wonderful artistic posing for you? Am I not your muse? Are you not amused? Get some of this dark. Put it over here. Too dark. Let's fill in that pupil and then bring this to there. So here is a little bit of a tip for you. If you're doing eyes, the light is going to enter the pupil from the direction of the light, which means you're going to get a light side here, and then you're going to get the highlight there, right? Sorry, I take that back. It's going to enter from the direction of the light, and you're going to get that highlight, and then it's going to strike the opposite side of the eye. So it's coming in this way, bing, get the highlight, and then it strikes the opposite side of the color part of the eye, which means that the opposite side of where the highlight is going to be lighter than what the highlight is surrounded by. And you'll see me do that frequently. So there's like dark around the highlight, and then it's lighter on the opposite side. Right? Of course, when there's two highlights, you're absolutely fucked. We used to have this teacher who taught a bunch of different classes, head painting, sketching, all that stuff. Really great teacher. He started off kind of slow as far as like our assignments, and it was like erasing out shape, right? So just looking at shadow shape and erasing out all of the lights. So it was like basically a two-tone drawing. So you would come in and the model would be posed there for 5 minutes, and you would you would tone your entire board with like a medium gray from your charcoal. You grab a chamois and just, so you just had gray. And then you would very quickly kind of gesture in the form, and then you would grab your eraser and you would just erase out all of the light parts. Super helpful in understanding value grouping and form, as well as how to quickly and accurately get form and structure. Very, very helpful teacher class. But so then that was like week 1, and then week 2 we moved on and did some other things, and then within, I want to say 3 or 4 weeks into a 13-week class, we were doing the multiple colored gels with the model seated. So basically it would be like this light here is like casting red, which means that all of your red cast, like you're going to be struck with red, and then all of the shadows are going to be green because the shadows are the inverse color of whatever the light is. And then from the opposite side, he would have a blue like blasting in, and then that would have the orange shadows, and like some of the shadows would be crossing, and it was just an absolute fucking nightmare to try and paint that stuff in color on hand in a 5-hour class. Absolute insanity. And when I look back on it now, I'm like, I could probably barely do that now. And I was wondering why I wasn't getting it when I was in class. Because it's fucking hard. It's funny to me. Like, as you're learning this stuff, you just take on so much, right? Or you're just like, okay, I'm gonna do all of that stuff, and then it just doesn't sink in. And it's not until way later that something will click with you and be like, oh, value grouping. Okay, I get it now. I get it. Why did my brain not get it until now, 2 years later? Or, you know, the things that I was talking about earlier with the painting, like leaving marks. Why didn't I get that? Why didn't it stick with me if it's so integral to the entire process of making art? Why didn't that one thing stick in my head so much that I constantly think about it as I'm making art? It's like you learn these things and attrition just takes it from you. Like I am positive that I've forgotten more about art than I actually know about art with the amount that I've studied. That's fucking depressing. I'm gonna make that darker. So a lot of this technique is design, like really thinking about each little shape on the figure. So you'll see me like go through pretty rapidly and do this stuff, and then when I come back in, I'm looking at it kind of holistically. Like, how does it work on this as a whole on this figure, and then later on even I'm looking at how does it work in the context of the entire image. So it's kind of, you know, one step at a time, refining the design. So one of the reasons that I actually wanted to do one of these like on stream is so that you guys can see the amount of time that it takes to actually do this to the level that it needs to be to pass muster, so to speak. As well as the fact that after finishing the dragon illustration down there in the corner, I kind of want to just take it easy and let my mind kind of process some other stuff, right? Just get in on a little bit of like cranial relaxation. Like still get the things done, still be here and hang out with you guys, but just have one of those projects that I can just kind of chill and chat with you guys, because like you guys are super chatty tonight. You don't say. So this is a lot of my day. This is what my day consists of. Like just like rendering out drawings of famous people. Currently, anyway. You know, it could be worse, right? Okay, I've got a question for you. Yeah, for movie posters and stuff. How do you all define success? What's your barometer? What's your personal barometer for success? Like if somebody asked you, are you successful? Would you say yes? Well, do you feel like you're successful right now? Is your life a success? A culmination of things. Okay. So that's a yes for you? Okay. Yeah. It's interesting to me because in talking to my friend last night, she was like, well, you know, objectively, you are successful. And I was like, am I? like it didn't cross my mind that, I think it didn't cross my mind that I was successful, because for me, I've always been successful. Meaning, like, I've achieved the goals that I wanted to achieve. I just kept on lining them up and moving through them one at a time, right? Like I made a decision to do something and I did it, therefore I was successful at it. And so I guess it's like a growth mindset as well as a satisfaction mindset, like feeling satisfied with what I have, but then at the same time striving and calling that success, right? So even when I was fucking dirt ass poor, I never considered myself like a failure or anything. I just was like, well, you know, I succeeded at this and I succeeded at that and then I succeeded at, you know, so there was like every step along the way where I was like, I gotta get out of Hawaii or I'm just gonna fucking rot here. And then I got out of Hawaii. I was successful at that. So I put that in my success kind of basket, right? Pardon me. And so I just like, and then, you know, living with 6 people in a 3-bedroom apartment, you know, like, wow, this doesn't work for me. I need to flex a little bit more. And so I became successful at getting down to just 3 people. And then I became successful at getting down to 2 people. And then I got successful at just me, right? I think success carries a connotation of satisfaction to me. No matter the context, it seems like it is a state dependent mostly on subjective personal state of being. Yeah, exactly, Viscera. So I think I've always been fairly satisfied with where I'm at, and my changes to lifestyle happened quickly because I didn't allow myself to ever fall into a state of extreme dissatisfaction or live in a state of dissatisfaction. So I was always keeping an eye on the things that bothered me and mitigating them in one way or another, right? And mitigating them through hard work and being definitive in my choices. So I just never really, I guess I never really thought about success. Like, oh, hey, I do this thing, so I'm successful. You know what I mean? Growing is work and enjoying the resting that comes with the success of achieving the goal you work towards until it is time to reach for the next goal or point of growth. That's fair, Sariana. I feel like personally, I have many ongoing growth cycles, right? You guys have seen it here, where I'm like, okay, yes, I'm doing well with art, and the art is moving forward, and I can kind of put that on cruise control on some level, and still kind of grow it a little bit here and there, but then I can start to grow in other ways, like with making music again, and bringing that skill back up to a level where I feel like it's comparable to my other skills, and that growth happens. And my photography / cinematography at the same time. So there's all these growth kind of cycles happening, right? So that I never kind of encounter a dissatisfaction, but I do see the ways that I can push myself and grow without being dissatisfied. Just being like, okay, well, now there's room in my life to add more in, and I'm going to add more right here, right? It was just an interesting conversation that we had kind of struck up last night, and I thought it would be interesting to find out your guys' perspective on it, because we have great thinkers here on this channel, in this community. Need to get some more darks in this area here. And drive those shapes home. I think that's why I keep talking about the growth mindset, because I feel like it's pretty integral to the entire process of living and living happily. Like, if you can maintain a growth mindset without adopting toxic work habits, right? Where you're constantly having to be working on something to feel fulfilled, right? So it's not the work or it's not the striving that's making you feel fulfilled. Because I think too frequently we're ending up with like a guilt complex over not like constantly hustling, right? And I don't feel like that's a positive place to be in. But I mean, I'm afforded the luxury of my hobbies being equally rewarding to my work, right? So I can be like, well, you know, I enjoy making music, so it's not work to sit down and make music. I enjoy photographing and that sort of stuff, so it's not ever really work to do that. And I can still grow in ways. Absolutely, but I do think it's integral to the process of being human is having things that you can strive for on a personal level, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean work, right? Just recently I feel like there's been like this whole hustle culture has taken over, where if you're not working, you're not worth anything. And I think that's kind of weird. Although I do frequently do a lot of work, so. It's it's hard to balance that out. I know that my family thinks that I work 24/7. Like they've said things to me like, I was gonna call, but I know that you're probably working. And part of that is probably on me for not disavowing them of that assumption, right? Because it does seem like I work quite a bit, even though I'm playing. Growing is different than working. Sometimes the growth takes effort, but the reward is so much more fulfilling than completing the job. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's part of the reason that I don't take on freelance. Like, I was contacted by somebody that wanted me to do some pixel art for them. And I wrote out an email back and I said, thank you for contacting me. To take on freelance at the moment doesn't really work because personal projects are what did I say? I said because my time is limited outside of my day job and personal projects take precedence, and I wouldn't want that to interfere with my well-being. And then I deleted all that and I said, thanks for reaching out. I'm not accepting freelance at this time. This, no matter what oppression, tax bracket, being in a state in which you are satisfied with the growth you are achieving is definitely successful in my estimation. Yeah, I think it's a good one. It's a solid way of putting it. I think what I just talked about is kind of indicative of success for me, where I don't have to take on every piddly shit freelance project that comes down the pipe, right? I don't have to take the $100 jobs, which I never would anyway. And that's, know your worth, right? I don't, I am lucky enough to be able to just say no. I learned it from watching you, all right? And more often than not, I do say no, because all we've got is time. And if I'm taking time from everything else, it better be for a good fucking reason. So it's that simple. And that's not to say that some of these projects might not be amazing, and some of those things might come along where I'm like, yeah, okay, we'll do that one. But it's and Moose knows this. It's few and far between because of the personal well-being and the fact that a lot of the people that are trying to get you to make art for them don't understand what they're asking. Right? So that's why frequently I'll just cut to the chase with people and be like, what's your budget? Because if you're not throwing stupid money at me, it's probably not going to get done. But if you got stupid money and you want me to get it done for you, we can do that. And it will be professional level stuff very quickly. It'll be good and it'll be fast, but it's not going to be cheap. And if you throw even more money at me, then it'll be great and it'll be fast, but it's still not going to be cheap. Let's see what this guy looks like in the context of everything. Looking pretty good. The shirt. Didn't do the shirt. They always say, do you want it good, want it fast, or want it cheap? Because you can only choose two. Yeah, it's a mantra to live by, really. Because people don't understand otherwise. One of the portraits does? Which one, Lo-Fi? Oh, this one? Yeah, that's Ryan Gosling. Not the first time I've been compared to that guy. My Eskimo brother. Yeah, Cryptid, 100%. Gosling and I dated the same actress at one point. God, that sounds douchey as fuck. But it's true. It's true. Indeed, she did have a type. Talented. And it's funny because then the guy after me, similar to me but lighter hair and the same exact birthday, the same exact year. What? And when I saw her after that, she was like, he's like you, but much more, he's like you to 11. I was like, Jesus. I totally agree, Heezy. It is a little slow, but that doesn't mean it's a bad movie. It means that the pacing is different than what your typical audience is used to. But I appreciated it. I think I appreciated it because I had seen so much anime that I was used to a different pacing, right? A slower pacing. Let's change this. Ooh, no. Here. Nope, I don't like that one either. Oh, I know what's happening. Getting some transparency in there when I don't need transparency. Yeah, the music is fucking stellar. Absolutely. What just happened? Cut that shit out. There it is. Well, I mean, Sariana was made by the team that made Dune, so... What more do you need? Sit down, shut up, and watch it. My nose is running. God damn it. Let's hit save. It's gonna take a while to save, because it's a very big file. Who's rude? I'm not rude. You're rude. How rude. Okay, let's see. Light sources. So on top of this, I'm gonna throw another layer, and so we can get into like adding in some additional lights, right? We'll go real light with this. So the reason I put this on another layer was so that I have the option to come back in, change my mind, and turn it off without having to repaint it all, right? Just gives me an ability to very quickly be like, oh, well, that didn't work. And it's not that I don't have confidence in it. It's that a lot of this stuff you kind of have to feel your way through. You can be like, yeah, I know that it should be like this, but when we get to the final, how's that going to look? How's that going to read in the final, right? So the idea right now is to just pull out some form more. I have done stuff that looks similar to some of the Valorant stuff, but I never like watersheded their work or anything. But I've definitely I've had clients ask for some stuff that's similar to that. Can't tell you which jobs, but it's happened. It's been known to happen. That's too light. All right, I think we did Deckard. Deckard done. I mean, ultimately, personal time, I'm gonna do things that are personally fulfilling for me, right? I feel like that game is just a dumpster fire of fucking misogyny and bullshit. It's just like all of the little kids went to that fucking game and just destroyed it. I know some streamers that stream that game occasionally and they just gave up because it's just, oh. Let's see. Should we do love, maybe? Joy, I mean? No. Wait, what's her name? There she is. Love, yeah. Thought it was crazy for a moment. Crazy for a moment. If by scratch you mean finding all of the reference materials to pull from the film and all that, yes, all me. All my layout, all me, all the time. What do you mean, which one moment, Sariana? What did I miss? What? Cosmonaut! What's happening? How you doing? The crazy moment. Oh, yes. Yeah, crazy moments. From scratch as in developing the drawing software yourself before using it. Yeah. So I started way back in the day with Photoshop 1. No, from scratch, when you're talking about this type of thing, from scratch means finding your reference materials, doing the layout, doing the drawing, that sort of thing, right? Bettering my Monday, hanging out in here. Wonderful to see you, Cosmer. Hello. Happy Monday, friend. How was your weekend? Because all of this stuff is based on photos, right? So all this comes from photo. There's no poster artists working at the highest level that aren't working from photo. So just so you know, everybody does it. There are some that will sit down and actually do some drawings and stuff of the talent and everything. But when you have, 3 to 5 working days to finish an entire montage poster, you don't sit there and noodle your likeness. You just fucking grab a photo, work from the photo. So when I'm doing this stuff, I do it as if I was in production on something, minus the 3 to 5 days. Weekend was great. Ran a 10K. Nice. To counteract the ginormous amount of donuts I had on Saturday. Donuts. Donuts. Fuck. I've had almost 0 sugar since I got sick 12 days ago. And I was already like almost 0 sugars. So like you say donuts and my fucking lizard brain is like simultaneously the worst and the best. I do have these bad boys. 3 grams of sugar. Don't even have an insulin response. But they're not fucking donuts. Hey, it's the song that I stole my alerts from, guys. Alright, let's see if YouTube's allowed links regarding using reference. Moose is about to school us. Cosmer got into reading Something is Killing the Children, and oh boy, is it a ride. It sounds like a ride. Sounds kind of dark, actually. Did it hide the link? I already posted it, so I guess if it's only visible to me. Well, hold on. It's not visible to me because I'm in, yeah, it looks like it hid the link. Interesting. I wonder why it did that. It didn't even give me the option to okay anything. Yeah, it doesn't give me the option to OK you to post links at all. Interesting. Guess they need a better... Interesting. Sorry, Moose. I don't make the rules. I just breaks them. Yeah, Cosmer, it sounds pretty dark. I mean, you could always, you can always post it on the Discord, right? And then tell me where you posted it. Maybe art discussion or something. So one of the things about drawing in this style with beautiful women's is you have to be very careful with how many lines you put in and how much you break up the planes of their face. So it's always a balancing act when you're looking at somebody that's very pretty and trying to use this kind of chiseled style on them. Because you can very easily make them not pretty at all. Let's see if I can post it. There you go. Yeah, a lot of art is, it's in how you interpret all of these things, right? So how you interpret shapes and forms and how you make them more graphic or less graphic, how you break up the features and the shadows and everything. And more recently, there's been the whole, if you're working from reference, then you're not working from your mind, blah blah blah, and they can fuck right off. Seriously, it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And a younger me took it to heart and was like struggling through things that could have been that would have taught me amazing lessons had I just taken the time to do them. Like just to bite the bullet and not worried about what everybody said about like tracing off forms and blah blah blah. Just get in there and make the art, because it's going to make the art that much better. Yeah, I mean, I worked with that reference for a number of years, and all it really does is limit your imagination. You just end up like rehashing the same things over and over again because that's your library, your mental model, right? So I'm a much stronger artist for ignoring the bullshit that people said was rules of real art, blah, blah, blah. Fuck you. I do still believe there's something to be said for shooting your own references whenever you can, though. Reference what you want to do. Look for references for what you don't want to do. Absolutely, absolutely. I think there's something to be said for the shooting of your own references because, personally, for me, it has catapulted my understanding of light and form and silhouette and even lenses and what lenses do to distort the forms that you're looking at, because it's like you can look at something shot by somebody else, but if you don't understand the telltale signs of what lens they used, then you're not going to understand the way that the body is changing. So you're not going to actually understand what the forms look like. You're only going to be able to know what you're looking at. You're not going to be able to puzzle piece together any of the other stuff that is the kind of below the surface stuff going on. Working with these big files makes me nervous, and I save more frequently because of it. Because Photoshop is more prone to taking a shit on you when you're working with bigger files. Flexible, what's up, buddy? Welcome in. I feel like she needs another layer of detail in here. So what I'm gonna do is go there and lighten that a bit. Maybe even a bit more. Yeah, there you go. And now I'm just gonna fill in kind of a transition tone here. And that'll just help round the form a little bit more, right? Because there was a big plane there that was dark. So just coming in to try and give her a little bit more dimension. And darkening this will push that back, right? What up, Rick? Oh, hey, Rick. I put the dragon up on ArtStation. So he's in the prints now. How's your day going, Rick? How was your weekend? Hello, David Short, otherwise known as Dazzle. How's it going, Dazzle? Just painted a ceiling. Was it like a mural? Because that's impressive if it was. I mean, it's impressive even if it wasn't a mural. Let's be honest. How's your neck? So I'm just adding in some transition tones to here. Again, I feel like the posterize effect that I used to get the initial values kind of blew some of that stuff away and ended up really changing some of the shapes of her face. And I want to bring some of that interest back, as well as design those shapes a little bit more, right? Since it is a drawing. And really the strength of this style is how I approach each one of the shapes and the drawings itself. The drawings themselves. I guess fine, shoulders are going to hurt tomorrow. Yeah. But hey, you're painting your place. How fun is that? I was actually thinking I have to go through and do some touch-ups on the walls already here. Gonna bring this pupil out a little bit more so she looks a little more scary. And maybe even bring this highlight up a lot. Really drive it home. Man, she's a disturbing character. They installed a new back door today. It looks so much better. Is that a euphemism? Because that's weird. I can tell Ruby that you were talking about her. Listen, Autumn, take the joke too far. How dare you? So much better. So much better. Did they clean up some of the shrubbery while they were there? With a shrubbery. Dazzle's just not having it tonight. He's like, you know what? I'm fucking done. Fuck you guys. I am ready for these sniffles to be gone, friends. ready to be sniffle free. And by sniffle free, I mean no longer blowing yellow babies out of my nose. They did clean up their mess after they caulked. I mean, that's why you always bring a towel with you. Always bring a towel with you when you're installing a new back door, because you never know, you're probably gonna need it, you know. As Siriana says, just in case. Just in case, Mom. I'm never going to be able to think about that joke the same again. My friends treat me like a creative director. Hey, do you know anybody that works in this style? I'm like, you know what? Cut that shit out. I'm not your personal art director. Twat. I love you, but don't do that. They say if you smell toast, that's a sign of a stroke. I keep smelling maple syrup. Do I have Canadians? Yeah, it's maple syrup is the sign of, yeah, it's definitely the Canadians. I have no other joke for that. That's fucking brilliant. See the brown, I go. Need to tell these stories, otherwise I just look like a unitic. A unitic. I don't know why my mouth just said unitic, but there you go. I hear that a lot, mostly anime or pixel art requests lately. Yeah, constantly. Most constantly. That was the one that I turned down today was a pixel art thing. As if like doing a pixel art landscape is just a fast thing that happens, right? Hey, do you think you could bang out something for our social thing that we wanted to put together? No, I don't think I could. We want to do something like our place. I'm like, good luck with that. Reddit has a huge fucking user base. Why do you think that succeeded? Because they have a huge fucking user base. Having Canadians? Not terminal. I had Canadians at one point, Texas, and I got rid of them. So you can too. Just marry them off to whoever will take them. You'll be fine. She's not even here to defend herself. Ouch. Right? I finished your pixel for you. Oh, you wanted pixel art. I thought you wanted a pixel. No, can't do that. It's gotten to the point with those requests where I don't even entertain the notion of how much are you paying. I just say that I'm too busy. Because probably not going to pay what they would need to pay to take me away from streaming / personal projects. It's just how it works. I have an ex who is Canadian. That one I got rid of because they wanted to control who I talked to on the internet when they weren't around, among other things. So I know how to lose them. Yeah, you know, if somebody's not allowing you to be who you are, kick them to the curb. So my theory is you shouldn't have to change at all. You should just be who you are naturally. That's why I'm single. No, I mean, you know, relationships take work, but if somebody that's trying to control you is not in a relationship with you. They're just letting their insecurities rule them. If there's one thing I can't hang with, it's insecurities. Can't hang, huh? Absolutely. I mean, you can take on a project if you want, right? You don't have to, but you can. All depends on the connection. I think that ties back into our success discussion that we were having earlier, quite honestly. Like at a certain point, your success attracts others who might not be as successful as you at like moderating your responses and growing your life and all that, right? They see you succeed and they want a piece of that. Yeah. It reminds me of the whole thing, like I used to want to change the world. I can't even change myself. At least not for somebody else. How we doing? It's looking pretty good, I think. Oh yeah, I forgot I still have to do the fucking logo too, because this logo is just pixelated to hell. Boo. It's gonna be a lot of work. Let's get a little bit darker in here. Just a smidge, not too much. There's a difference between being with someone while they grow and fixing them. Those people are pretty easy to spot. Yeah. Absolutely. I think controlling somebody's actions is a clear sign that you got to go through some growth on your own for a while. Right? You gotta do a little hard work first. So just take it easy. Let them be them, you go be you, and you know, maybe check in 5-10 years. Or don't. Sniffly nose. Man, I thought I got through the whole sickness thing pretty well. Where I was like, yeah, it didn't end up with a raw nose or anything. And then like the brunt of the sickness is over and my body's just expelling all this crap now. And now my nose is like, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Okay. That one I never said they would stay friends with me if I dropped a different friend. What? Yikes. Yeah, run for the hills on that one. Dunzo and gone. Oh man, see, this is where we're gonna run into trouble. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to actually like paint this stuff and then come back in and throw another mask over it, because otherwise it's all just 100% opacity. So this is before I think I had techniques for dealing with this where it was non-destructive, and I just did some destructive stuff right out of the gate on this stuff. So now I'm gonna have to learn how to deal with that, or sorry, mitigate that. Well, then you dodged a bullet, my friend. You dodged a bullet. You can be thankful that you learned lessons early on and were able to spot that and avoid it. So this is the part of this style that gets me, is when I'm getting to these moments where there's a lot of hatching and my hand is like, yeah, we're done. We're done. Not to mention, the style that I'm working in for the one that I'm doing at work today is all hatching. So my hand is just, yeah. Definitely gonna do some stretches tonight. Gonna take care of them stretchy stretches. Stretch times comes afterwards. So rasterize this layer, apply it, and smudge that. Is that right? No, we need the smudgy smudge if we're gonna smudge it. Good smudge. There we go. This has been one day filled with just copious amounts of painting. I did do a little bit of drawing today, but it was primarily painting. What up, Sebastian? How's it going, buddy? Nice to see you, friend. How you doing? You can hear me sniffling, I apologize. Still with the sniffles. Yeah, good to read ya. All the friends. This is on the arts department, hanging out on the tubes. Nice to have you all here. How was the vacation, Sebastian? I think I was sick the entire time. The entire time. Good times. Yeah. Was it everything you had hoped it would be? Okay, let's do this real fast while we're here. Get this soft brush and ease this up a bit. Oh, we need to be on black. There you go. Magical. Magic. Drink your water, friends. Hydrate that shit. There we go. Nice to see you. How are you settling in, Sari? How are you settling in, Sari? Oh, shit. Undo all that because transparent opacity was on. Band has a corrosion of conformity vibe to it. Sounds like a Dirty King, Dirty King. They're strapped in for the ride, so hard to be a fighter when your hands are always tied. But I want to, but I want to, I want to, but my hands are always tied up. Yes, indeed. I'm getting there. I'm starting to get a little stir crazy and want these boxes out of my damn house. I love it here so much. Awesome. There's too many boxes up in this goddamn house. So I would say I work in this style nearly every day. Nearly every day. It's not all action though. A lot of it's like pinup. Not quite the same vibe as what we're working on. I can feel my marks getting lazy right now. You're just like, okay, that's too late. Maybe we will use this one. Yeah, there you go. A little bit dark right here. Oh, we're getting there, friends. Then after her, it's just the big main dude, and this bad boy is finished. Not really. So I've been looking at like the color harmonies and stuff, and I'm probably going to spend a little bit of time experimenting with color and stuff when I have all of the drawing and everything in place. But I'm pretty sure I'll land on something close, similar to this at the very least. Just because of the nature of the film, the color palette of the film and everything. Hold on a moment. Stupid sniffles. I hate sniffles. So, Sebastian, got any good stories from your from your journeys? What's the big wide world like out there? But I do like stickers. Stickers. I'm not dying, I promise, friends. It's just leftovers. I feel great otherwise, except for the sniffles and shit. Okay, that's fair. I'm looking forward to it, Sebastian. I'll give you a big hug and like breathe on you. Just, hi. Why is that the word you choose, and why does it bother me so much? What? Snibbles? Oh, leftovers. I mean, it's not, it's the truth. It's just, you know, some yellow aging, been in the fridge too long leftovers. Okay, I'll stop. Yes, pretty much, right? Little white tufts on them. Mmm. Nom, 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 nom. I can almost hear Sariana gagging from here, to be honest. Which is pretty impressive. She lives 1.25 miles away. Snibbles. I don't like snibbles. Mr. O says, friends, I have to head out a bit early tonight, but I want to leave my lurk with you folks. Thank you all for the time. Oh, thanks for being here, Viscera. I super appreciate you, my friend. Have a wonderful night. Rest well. We'll be back on Wednesday over on the Twitch. Did that work? Yes, it did. For the friends that don't know where the Twitch is, you can find it at those links. But, you know, I feel like it's all fam here tonight, so don't need to promote. Viscera, rest well, friend. Man, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't get into doing him just yet, because I feel like I'm just gonna barely get started on it, and then I have to call it an evening. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think we are gonna work on him yet. Because, yeah, there's gonna be, like, it's pretty important to get the marks right on him. Because he's gonna have these radiating marks that are gonna be, like, all of them are gonna be kind of leading to his eye, right? That kind of thing. So that we get all these marks leading across all of that and down into this eye. So, I might just hit the all save, and we might end up calling it here for the evening, folks. There is a lot more to go, Sariana, because what we do need to do is start to inject some other colors and stuff into these, right? So, because there's much like some of the other things where we have there's basically like a singular color plus the base colors that were kind of knocked out when we did the initial pass with the posterized filter, right? So let's say the captain here, right? I put her on a normal, and then so what she's going to need is she's going to need a mask like we normally do for our line work stuff, right? And then I have to come in with some variations of colors and try to kind of push back in some variance into her, but it has to be interesting, right? Without deviating so much that we break the uniformity of the color palette. All right, Seb, we'll check you soon, brother. Have a wonderful night, my friend. Yeah, so while we have all that, then I would go in and I would grab like a splatter brush, right? Not that splatter brush, but like the effects brushes and maybe this one, right? And get some stuff like this happening. So there's gonna be some more visual interest and shit going on. And maybe even grabbing like, there's this one airbrush that I have that has this really great kind of traditional vibe, and it's this one, the hard with grain. And you can see that you can't see it at this level, but if I zoom in, you can see, look at those little dots it's putting in there, right? So I can just add in kind of some taps of noise, right? So it end up with kind of like paper noise and airbrush noise in there. That'll really start to push away from that super graphic style. Of course, it's all very rough at the moment, so. But delete that. Leave those little movements in there to remind myself of where we're heading. But you can see that it's not so straight orange, right? And we're getting some variance into the reds. And so the idea is maybe we can even like push in some blues ultimately by going way up to the top here and getting back onto our soft airbrush and just pulling some colors in like that, right? So just to start to push the palette away from being so monochrome. But that is a problem for future autumn. Past autumn is usually fairly inconsiderate of future autumn. But current autumn, past autumn, is tired of sniffling on camera and wants to go blow his nose. So we're going to call it here, folks. Be back Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Pacific Daylight Time on Twitch. You know the location, twitch.tv/AutumnRainTurkel. Thanks for hanging out, friends. It was nice to hang out with you, have some good conversation, have some meaningful conversation, get to know y'all a little bit better. Yeah, have a wonderful night, have a wonderful Tuesday, have a wonderful Wednesday, and we'll see you Wednesday night for maybe this, maybe something else. You know, this is just kind of some filler, so maybe I'll have a plan by then, and it won't just be catching up. I love you all. Love one another. Be kind to one another. Thanks for hanging out. Have a wonderful night. That's it from the arts department. Keep drawing, and we'll see you next time. Welcome back to the arts department, everyone. Go for it.
I'm gonna go for it. Wee! And Daniel's like, and did you see my pencil? Look at this tip. This tip is, oh shit, yeah, I broke it. Hold on. This tip is the best tip because this one actually has some flex to it.
I do not break my tips.
Bye, go. Butts and tits and butts and tits and butts and tits and butts and tits. You've reached Seb. Sorry I can't take your call right now, but leave a message after the beep.
It draws your eye and then pushes it up into I just gotta stop. Oh boy. Friends like these, who needs enemas? Enemies. Enemies. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like the Swedish chef. Making the earth and they're freaking into Photoshop. And, queeps. There, girl. blade of inking, that whosoever pulleth out the blade from the inkwell will be, I don't know, an art monkey who it gets taken advantage of nonstop and people think they can just not pay. Oh wait, too real.
It's supposed to be fancy. Why are you such a downer?
I believe you get your ass kicked for saying something like that.
I mean, honestly, Cox, if I could do that on stream, that's all this stream would be. I just said... Come on! Somebody has to think that was funny.
Duel on the poop.
They call it the poop deck because when you went to the poop deck, you pooped off the back of the boat.
It'd be like, whoosh, and I would just get full fucking facialed. Like, I'm like, ah. Right to the meaty nips of the bits. This is an adult stream filled with immature people. And we love it.